Hello and welcome back to JBC English Learning Academy. This is day 2 of my 5-day shadowing challenge. Today, we are going to focus on grammar, and in the next 30 minutes, you will review and practice some useful structures that will make your English sound more natural, clear, and confident. If this is your first time joining the challenge, I recommend starting with day 1. That way, you can follow the story from the beginning and understand everything more easily. You can find the link to the full playlist in the description. The playlist includes all 5 lessons, and you can watch them in order and track your progress. I also have some great news for you. Day 2 of your free consolidation course is now available. I have created interactive grammar exercises for you. They give you instant feedback, so you know immediately whether your answers are correct. You don't have to guess, and you don't have to wait. These exercises go even deeper than today's lesson. You'll see more examples, more situations, and more ways to understand how these grammar structures work in real life. If this is your first day here, welcome. The consolidation course is completely free, and days 1 and 2 unlock automatically when you join. You can join using the link in the description or by scanning the QR code on the screen. And here's a quick reminder. When you join the free consolidation course, you also join my Black Friday waiting list. This is my biggest sale of the entire year, and the best discounts I offer. If you want to reach B1, B2, or even C1 level, this sale will help you get the right materials and support. You'll be the first person to know when the sale starts. Alright. Let's begin today's grammar lesson. B1 Grammar Practice. We'll start with the B1 intermediate level. Shadow me, or listen first and then pause and repeat. Story sentence. I've been trying to take the train more often recently, so I booked a ticket from London to Inverness. When the day finally arrived, I boarded at King's Cross, and as we picked up speed, I watched London disappear behind me. Now let's look at the first clause. I've been trying, present perfect continuous. The structure is subject plus have slash has been plus ing verb. We use this tense to talk about an action that started in the past, continues now, and is still not finished. The focus is on the continuing action. In fast, natural English, I have becomes I've. Been is pronounced bin, sounds like bin. So it becomes /I've been /trying. In your Day 2 consolidation course exercises, you will practice the difference between present perfect simple, present perfect continuous. These activities will help you understand exactly when to use each tense, so you don't guess anymore. Next part of the story. Shadow or repeat after me. If I'd known the route was so beautiful, I'd booked a window seat. The journey, which took around 8 hours, passed surprisingly quickly. Before I knew it, I was in Inverness. Let's break this down. Third conditional. The first sentence uses the third conditional, which we use to talk about an imaginary past. Something that didn't happen. Often a regret or a missed opportunity. Structure. If plus subject plus past perfect, subject plus would have plus past participle. Example. If I had known, I would have booked. In natural spoken English, I had becomes I'd. I would have becomes IDV, a double contraction used in speech. Both had and would become D, so be careful with the full forms when writing. Relative clause. The next structure is a non-defining relative clause, which took around 8 hours. We use this type of clause to add extra information. It is not essential to the meaning of the sentence, and it is separated with commas. A non-defining relative clause gives extra information, but the information is not essential to the meaning of the sentence. If we remove the clause, the sentence still makes perfect sense. In this example, the clause starts with the relative pronoun, which, and it is separated from the rest of the sentence by commas. When we speak, we usually make a small pause before and after the clause to show that it is additional information. Shadow me, or listen first, pause, and then repeat. If I'd known the route was so beautiful, I'd booked a window seat. The journey, which took around 8 hours, passed surprisingly quickly. Before I knew it, I was in Inverness. B1 learners, understanding grammar through storytelling. If you are working toward the B1 level, my beautiful British English B1 program teaches grammar in a completely different way. Instead of learning long lists of rules or memorizing isolated examples, you will build strong foundations with 31 well-designed grammar lessons. Practice with hundreds of interactive exercises. And receive instant feedback on every answer. You will follow the story of Grace, a young woman who moves to Australia. As you watch her navigate her new life, you will see how grammar structures appear naturally in real situations, including the present perfect continuous, conditionals, modal verbs, reported speech, relative clauses, and much more. You won't simply study grammar, you will experience it through her journey. By the end of the program, these grammar structures feel natural, easy, and almost automatic. And with Black Friday on the way, you'll soon have the chance to join this life-changing 12-week program for a much lower price, plus some very exciting bonuses. You will be amazed at the value. Moving on to the B2 level. Now let's move on to B2, the upper intermediate level. Shadow me if you can. But the adventure was far from over. All I could think was, by the time I reach my cottage, I'll be been traveling for more than 13 hours. I picked up my rental car, and I was off. Here, we have a beautiful B2 level grammar structure to focus on, the future perfect continuous. Future perfect continuous, B2 level, structure. Subject plus will have been plus ing verb. Example. I will have been traveling. We use this tense to talk about an action that is still in progress, up to a specific point in the future. And we want to emphasize the duration of the activity. In the sentence, the duration is more than 13 hours, which is quite long, and that is why the continuous form fits perfectly. You may have noticed another double contraction. I will have I'll. It has 2 syllables, and the second syllable has a schwa sound I love. In fast, natural English, we also pronounce been as been. So the phrase becomes I'll be been. In your Day 2 Consolidation course, you will practice the difference between the future perfect simple and the future perfect continuous. These tenses can be difficult for many learners, but the interactive exercises make everything clearer. You get instant feedback, so you know your mistakes immediately and can correct them on the spot. Now shadow me again and try the double contraction. But the adventure was far from over. All I could think was, by the time I reach my cottage, I'll be been traveling for more than 13 hours. I picked up my rental car and began driving. Now, here's the next part of our B2 level story. I'm so used to endless traffic jams in London that I couldn't believe how quickly I reached the countryside. And the further I drove, the more beautiful it got. Let's break this down in a simple way. To be used to, a common source of confusion. Even many advanced students get confused by the structure, to be used to. If you are used to something, it means the situation feels normal or familiar to you. Structure. Be plus used to plus noun / gerund, ing form. Examples. I'm used to traffic jams. I'm used to sitting in traffic. This structure does not describe the past. It describes your current level of comfort or familiarity with something. Cause and effect comparatives, B2 level. The next sentence uses a very interesting comparative pattern. Structure. The plus comparative, the plus comparative. Examples from the text. The further I drove, the more beautiful it got. This structure shows a cause and effect relationship. As one thing changes, something else changes in response. Here, cause driving further. Affect the scenery becoming more beautiful. When speaking, we add a short pause after the comma. Shadow me. I'm so used to endless traffic jams in London that I couldn't believe how quickly I got out into the country. And the further I drove, the more beautiful it got. Are you ready for B2? The beautiful British English B2 program includes 24 full grammar lessons, complex conditionals, question tags, relative clauses, participle clauses, the passive voice, cleft sentences, and many more advanced structures. You also get hundreds of focused exercises and downloadable PDFs that clearly explain how each structure works. Throughout the course, you follow Rahan, who is adapting to life in the UK. Through his story, you will see the future perfect continuous, advanced adverb placement, complex verb patterns, and other higher-level structures. These appear naturally as he finds a flat, learns how London works, and builds new friendships. Each week, your confidence grows until advanced grammar feels automatic and natural. And with Black Friday week coming soon, this program will be part of something very special: huge savings, valuable bonuses, and lessons that can truly change your fluency. Moving on to C1, Advanced English. Now let's continue to the C1 level. Shadow me if you can. What struck me as I drove along was how changeable the weather is there. One moment it was really dull, and the next it was bright sunshine. The drive wound past glens and lochs, on and on. Here we see a beautiful advanced structure right at the beginning. Cleft sentences, C1 level. The passage starts with a cleft sentence. Structure. What plus clause plus linking verb, was slash is, plus emphasizing clause. Example. What struck me, was how changeable the weather is. We use cleft sentences to highlight important information, create emphasis, make the sentence sound more advanced and dramatic. They are very common in storytelling, formal English, and advanced writing. We often use cleft sentences when we want to add strong emphasis to a specific idea. In this case, the focus is on the second part of the sentence, the new, interesting information that the speaker wants to highlight. In your Day 2 Consolidation course, you'll explore cleft sentences in much more detail. You will find simple explanations, example sentences, and practice activities that help you understand this advanced structure deeply. These exercises are designed to train your intuition, so cleft sentences eventually feel natural and automatic when you speak. Shadow me again. What struck me as I drove along was how changeable the weather is there. One moment it was really dull, and the next it was bright sunshine. The drive wound past glens and lochs, on and on. Final part of the story. Now let's listen to the final section of today's story. Just as I was on the verge of giving up ever finding it, the cottage came into view. Little did I realize how far it was from civilization. And, of course, I'd forgotten to buy any food. I wolfed down a bag of crisps and tumbled into bed. Let's break down the advanced structures. To be on the verge of, C1 level. The phrase, on the verge of, means backhand index pointing right, to be very close to doing something, backhand index pointing right, or very close to experiencing something. Examples. She was on the verge of tears. She was almost crying. He was on the verge of quitting. He nearly decided to stop. This expression is extremely common in advanced English because it adds emotion and drama to the situation. At C1 level, you don't only use tenses to describe time, you also begin to use advanced structures to express attitude, emotion, and emphasis. Negative inversion, a very advanced structure. In the sentence, little did I realize. The word order changes. Normally, in a statement, we say subject plus verb. But here, we see little plus did plus subject plus verb. This is called inversion, and we use it with certain negative or limiting adverbs at the beginning of a sentence. Other examples. Never had I eaten anything so delicious. Hardly had I sat down when the phone rang. Seldom do we see such kindness. We use inversion for strong emphasis, especially in storytelling and formal English. Shadow the passage again. Just as I was on the verge of giving up ever finding it, the cottage came into view. Little did I realize how far it was from civilization. And, of course, I'd forgotten to buy any food. I wolfed down a bag of crisps and tumbled into bed. C1 Grammar as an art. At the C1 level, grammar becomes more than rules. It becomes a tool for expressing nuance, emotion, tone, and meaning. My beautiful British English C1 program includes 24 detailed lessons on advanced grammar, paraphrasing, compound adjectives, negative inversions, the subjunctive mood, and many other sophisticated structures. You'll also get downloadable grammar guides, extensive exercises, and the option for teacher feedback. You follow the story of Lottie, who moves to a British village. Through her daily life, you see how native speakers naturally use these advanced structures in debates, messages, presentations, conversations, and storytelling. By the end of the program, advanced grammar becomes a part of who you are as a speaker. You use it effortlessly, not because you memorized rules, but because it now feels natural. And with Black Friday week coming soon, the path to true C1 fluency will feel closer than ever. You'll find amazing savings, powerful bonuses, and a chance to transform the way you use English forever. Wrapping up day 2. You did brilliantly today. You've just completed day 2 of the 5-day shadowing challenge, and your grammar is improving beautifully. Tomorrow, day 3, will be extremely practical. We're diving into pronunciation, and I promise it's going to be fun, interactive, and full of useful techniques. Before you finish for today, don't forget to complete your Day 2 Consolidation Course exercises. Those interactive activities help the grammar stick in your mind and become easy to use. I can't wait to see you tomorrow for Day 3. Bye for now. Thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and grab your free materials below. See you in the next lesson. Take care, and bye for now.